Hello, hello. I am here to continue a rant that has been issued by jakemercure, and he really inspired me to really talk about certain topics about the current economy. It is absolutely not easy as someone who has been unemployed for the past 6 months, 6 to 8 months. I have lost track, and it's not a place for the faint of heart to be unemployed because it can be absolutely drastic to one's spirit. Um, and although it might seem as if you're the only person or as if I'm the only person experiencing this, this seems to be a pervasive topic across the United States. Um, because as I have been listening to Jake McCure's video and how he's been explaining his difficulties and the people within the comment section who are fully employed and working full-time jobs and having a salary, they still feel like there is no true tangible meaning to their lives. And what I mean by that is that there's no additional discretionary income that allows them to feel like there is security in their lives, as if they're saving or providing some kind of value add to their future. And Jake is proposing that the main issue of this macroeconomic issue is because of corporate greed. And I would say that is a large correlation to the current outcome, where it seems to be inflated in the sense of their valuations. Um, and the people who are participating in the capital markets are essentially making an additional buck. But for those who don't, which is essentially 60 to 70% of the population not being involved in the capital markets, are feeling stuck. And even if you were to participate in the capital markets, you will still feel stuck because prices are so damn high. And the ones that are reaping these benefits are the ones who actually have monies. I don't know, let's say 10 million plus in net worth. Um, and that's just more so because if you're making, if you have $10 million and earning 10% of that, you're making an additional mil a year. But if you only have $10,000 in net worth and making 10% annually, you're only earning $1,000. So there's really levels to this, right? And there's such a disparity in the economy that people are feeling in their damn soul. And so then you ask the question, is it really all worth it? Is it really all worth it? Yeah, I might be unemployed, but as someone who's experiencing the same feeling and putting more energy, exerting a lot more energy and time to a job that they might not like and still feeling hopeless. Is it worth it? And so I think that America, especially the younger generation, whether it be millennials, younger millennials, or Zoomers, um, who are feeling this quote unquote existential crisis of questioning whether participating in the marketplace is even worth it. You can't even produce and have a family now because discretionary income is such a low and savings are at a low that it's virtually impossible to have a child. So not only having a personal existential crisis, but we are actually having a population existential crisis. We're now our own human civilization in the United States, and maybe not even just the United States, are feeling a sense of a stoppage of trying to expand our lineage. It's quite a problem, and I guess a lot of the values that I ask myself nowadays is, do I really want to pursue in this industry? And even if I were to pursue in this industry and make tons of money, what's the point of making those monies, right? Or should I put myself out there and push a certain agenda to make some form of change? And that in itself is a question that I ask myself, whether monetary value is even worth it now. Is money even worth it because of how disparate the differences between the wealthy and the non-wealthy? Is the marginal benefit even worth it? Although I'm absolutely educated, earning a top master's in the United States in a very elite university, is it worth it? These are questions I ask myself, and not only that, I actually have not only the educational background, I have the experience as well, and the marketplace of finding a job is absolutely brutal. Not only am I getting interviewed, not only am I just shooting out application upon application, I'm getting, yes, interviews, but even in these interviews, I'm getting ghosted. So are these jobs that are being marketed even true? Moreover, I even got an interview, got into person, they expressed interest and said that they would respond at a specific time, followed up to that time, and then get ghosted while I was in person in that interview. Do you know how much of an audacity that is and a slap to the candidate's face? It's almost like there's really no hope in this job market, although you have all the qualifications. And you have to basically gaslight yourself every single day, telling yourself that you're worth it, because you know you're worth it, but the job market and the economy does not meet its demand. There's not enough sales out there. There's not enough sales out there, which is why the economy is such a downfall. And I want to really encourage other people who maybe just graduated and shooting their shot, have very little experience in this hyperinflation macroeconomic environment, inflated educational environment, a lack of job environment, to tell yourself that money is not everything. And the appeasement of your parents or some kind of social validation that you're trying to fulfill is not worth it as well. Now it really comes down to who you are as a person and what you stand for. Because I'm currently experiencing a paradigm mindset mindset shift, the sense where these things are not worth it. And if these monetary and these social fulfillments are not worth it, then what is? Because what really needs to change is these things. So then what makes it worth it is the change in itself. And so then I ask myself, if the change is worth it in trying to push change, maybe putting myself out there in social media is absolutely worth it to share my thoughts. Because there needs to be some kind of change. There needs to be some message, an ideology that needs to be pushed out to change other people's minds and perspectives, that there needs to be change. And I think it really, really matters now in this year, especially since the election is coming up in 5 months. So there needs to be change. And I know for a goddamn fact that it's not corporations that will enable this change. I also know that government is not someone that we should be dependent on as well, with a lot of the lies that's being told, a lot of the psyops that are being pushed. And I don't want to be conspiratorial at all, but let's be real. We have been lied to constantly. And so that we have to be aware of all these scenarios, and that the only people that we can trust are the people that are close to us and ourselves. And so if you have an inkling of wanting to provide some kind of change, this is your moment, because the biggest marketplace is social media.